Hey there guys, it's DMO73 bringing you a deck profile for this week from one of the feature match you saw earlier this week. This is the green-blue Scheherazade like addition control kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. So the ruler is Liberator for Wind. Start of the game, you can search your Magic Stone deck for any Magic Stone, put it on top, and then shuffle your Magic Stones, and put it on top after you shuffle the rest of your Magic Stone deck. And then you can pay 3 to J-activate her and turn her into Scheherazade, the Teller of 1001 Stories, 700, 800, Wanderer. Enter, search your main deck for any card, put it in your hand, and then you can rest her when your hand is empty to draw 2 cards. So pretty solid. She's a ruler that's definitely activated kind of late game when you want to just kind of like seal the deal and search for the card you need. It's not something that you want to really activate J-activate early. As kind of shown in by the videos that you saw. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. So we're gonna start with the stones, and first up we have Little Red the Pure Stone. Oh, I know you're thinking, wait a minute, what? This is the blue one. You packed the purple one in your deck opening. It's okay, there it is. There's the purple one, and there's the red one, and there's the yellow one. So there's all 4. I've managed to get all 4 since my box opening, so just check that out. That's pretty freaking cool. But anyway, moving right along, you have the blue stone. When it gets flipped, you pick an attribute for it. The greatest thing is you get to see your hand before you're actually gonna flip it over, so you can always make sure to have the mana for your 1-drop, particularly usually green, but sometimes it'll be blue. And we've already kind of talked about this when I did the set review. Then we run 4 Deepwoods for, again, you gotta love the blue, in addition to the green, and then just 5 basic wind stones, just to be able to always have wind every single time with Gretel. So pretty straightforward there. Let's go ahead and jump into the Resonators. We run 4 Familiar of Holy Wind. Pretty great replacement for Cheshire Cat if you're on a budget. Just a 1-drop green, 200, 200, enter, draw a card. And then you can also banish it by paying a green to deal 300 damage to something. So pretty solid. I really like it as a replacement to Cheshire Cat. Plus, it's just a 1 quick drop to draw a card to kind of cycle through your deck, as well as just a quick trigger off of Sinbad, which can be really helpful. So I like that card a lot. Then we're playing a lot of additions, so kind of our finisher is Tin Man, Heartless Tin Man. Every single addition we put on the field or onto a Resonator I control, he gets a counter. Every counter he gets plus 300, 300, so he can get really big really quick. Even if it's just with a flying carpet on him, and then it's a free flying 500, 500 every turn is really good. Then only 3 Gretel because mana ramp isn't super important and I wanted room for other stuff. Just the 3 to be able to quickly get a little bit ahead if I needed to, so that I'm in a safe place to be able to activate things like the higher cost spells faster. And then double Glinda because it's a body and it's a spell cancel. In hindsight, I probably actually am gonna stop running these. They didn't really seem to do me a ton, but they are, I mean, it's good in certain matchups, but I'm debating with Sinbad coming out now, I'm debating whether or not it's better to play more absolute cake zones now, because you do have a 2-drop that has some utility with it, but it's still a really good card, so I would definitely, don't just outright drop it, just consider what your matchups might be and play it still. And then, hey look, for Sinbad the Windrider Merchant. He's kind of like the powerhouse / the engine of the deck. 2-drop 6/6, does stuff when you can draw cards, pump stuff up, burn stuff for damage. Really important card, so yeah, that's what we run there. You've seen a lot of the plays on the video about what you do with him, and just keep in mind that if you control 2, you don't get 2 effects. They'll both trigger, but only 1 will actually replace the draw, so then the other Sinbad will just kind of whiff. And then 3 Fiethsing, the Magus of Holy Wind. It's a really cool new kind of counter in the form of a creature. Just quick cast it to play it during your opponent's turn, to be able to cancel all the damage from target something. And it's all damage. It's not battle damage, so like if your opponent has a Cinderella and they set up a really big chain with Cinderella, just at the end of the chain, just play Fiethsing and negate all the Cinderella damage, and your opponent just went like super minus. So like that's really good against Cinder decks. And then the kind of heavy hitter finisher is the 3 Etna the Snow Queen. Just the ability to be able to go tap, however you need to lock down that many threats on the board and swing in for game with like your Sinbads and your Tin Mans and everything, is a really great finisher that can really help a lot in the stall game. So Really, really powerful. Plus, you know, if you play her early, she can also force your opponent to discard cards, so that's also a really powerful extra effect. Moving on to the spells, we run 2 Flying Carpets for like quick casting additions. Enter, draw a card. Usually I'm going to skip that if I have Sinbad on board. We run 3 Wind Daggers. Again, it's the same kind of thing about enter, draw a card, but it also has the same effect of being able to banish to do 300 damage to something, so that's pretty cool. And then the real kind of heavy hitter is the 3 Witch's Dagger. Quick casting a Witch's Dagger is hilarious, but also just in general, it's like it's 3 free cards off of like a Gretel or a Familiar of Holy Wind, while at the same time pumping up your Tin Man. So like, put it onto a card, wait until something's gonna target it, and then just immediately just respond, draw 3 cards, or skip 3 draws, or whatever you're gonna do like that. So I really like that addition lineup. And then the counter spells, we run 3 Xeex, the Ancient Magic, as my like summon counter. It also helps me recycle the deck if I need to, or if I'm playing against Cthulhu's, it's another way to mess their plays up, because I can just recycle their whole graveyard. So Xeex gets a lot of use actually in this deck. To exceed the Ancient Magic, just because I'm only running one Absolute Cake Zone, so I want to have a little bit more spell cancel potential. Also, it also can cancel summons as well, and if I control a Fiethsing, that's an extra free draw to trigger with Sinbad. So like, it's a good replacement. Like I said, I'm probably going to go up to more Absolute Cake Zones now, just because I found myself really, in testing a lot, I found myself really wanting a Cake Zone rather than a Glinda. But again, that's shifted now that we have Sinbad, so that makes a lot more sense. And then finally, the big heavy hitter is Stories Told in 1001 Nights. Run 3 of those. Because your ruler is Liberator of Wind, Scheherazade, normally you just target a creature and put it on top of the deck, but with Scheherazade, you get to remove it from the game instead, and you, the player casting this, get to look at your opponent's hand, deck, and graveyard, and remove from the game all copies of that same card. Keep in mind that if I have 2 copies of the same creature on board, we learned this, someone commented this on the video and pointed it out to me, which is helpful. If I cast Stories Told in 1001 on like an Etna, and I have another Etna on board, only this Etna will get removed. The other Etna will stay around. Stories doesn't check for additional copies on board, so just keep that in mind. But still, really powerful card that lets you essentially go almost plus 4 constantly, which is really, really good in any card game, let alone Force of Will. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is the deck. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the deck down below, what changes you would make, and I'll catch a new featured match next week. Until then, this is TMO73 signing off.